Go ahead and grab your Bible and let's turn it to Luke chapter number 21. Luke 21. And if you're trying to figure out what you're going to do with your morning at 6 a.m., that's just a little bit from now, we are having men's prayer at the Journey Baptist Church in the Life Center. There's coffee and fellowship and some good time of prayer with the men. And so if you're forgetting about that, there's your reminder. Hopefully we'll see you there this morning in just a little bit from now. And then also tonight, don't forget that we have our normal evening services back in person, 6:30 p.m. Awana, Youth Refuge, and Adult Bible Studies all in place, as well as the live stream at 7 p.m. for the adults. And so turn your attention back to Luke chapter number 21 and listen to this. I mean, what I want you to catch here is that God sees our generosity for what it really is, no matter what else or what other people see. I think sometimes we are a little ashamed of our little when someone with great wealth might put in more. Well, Jesus kind of puts that to rest and says God sees right through that he knows when someone is giving from the heart of their lack instead of a token gift of their leftovers. And so watch what he says here in verse number 1. It says, and he looked up and he saw rich men casting their gifts into the treasury, and he saw also a certain poor widow casting in tithes, or casting in thither 2 mites, just 2 little coins, very low value. And what's powerful about this is that God saw the rich throwing in theirs and hearing the sound of the thud or the chingling sound of change hitting the bottom, gold coin. And then he probably heard nothing when she dropped her little tiny pieces of tin into the treasury. And look what he says. He says, and he said, of a truth, I say unto you that this poor widow hath cast in more than they all. So he didn't say each one of them individually. This 2 little, almost worth nothing coins represented more giving than the change bags that they had witnessed being thrown into the treasury. Listen to why. For all these have of their abundance cast in unto the offerings of God, but she of her penury or of her poverty hath cast in all the living that she had. So when she gave, she had to wonder where her next meal was coming from. When they gave, they had already prepared their next meal, and they were just giving of the excess, if they happened to have excess. It didn't hurt them at all to give their bag of money. This was a sacrificial gift from this little widow woman with her 2 tiny little coins. And so what Jesus says is that, number one, the poor gift is not missed by the Lord. It's seen, and it's seen in its equivalent value. That means that compared to her income, compared to what she was living off of, this was a great gift compared to many rich people who give tons of money, and yet they have not even given until it hurts yet. And so be encouraged in this way. God sees your generosity for what it is. And so give with a generous heart. Be a giving person. Jesus highlights this to make sure it's understood that God really sees that sacrificial, generous gift that people would put into the plate. So don't ever be embarrassed when you only have small bills to throw in the plate and then you just don't have any more. Don't be afraid of that. God accepts the generous offering. Now take it outside of money and think about the things that you might not think you have. I don't have a lot of talent in this area, but I'll give what I have. I don't really have a lot of training in this area, but I'll give what I can. And I know I can't speak eloquently, but I'll speak whatever words would be helpful. Think about it from that perspective, that God sees the true value of the offering, not how it's mathed out or perceived in this world. And so I hope that encourages you this morning, and I hope that it sets your day on a good path, knowing that if you're being generous with the Lord, it's not the dollar amount, it's not the talent amount, it's the heart of sacrifice, willing to give whatever I have to the work of the Lord. And I know when we do that, it'll change the whole trajectory of our day when we realize just how honest God sees our gifts. Have a great day.